When I was about 18 years old, my dad took my brother, sister, and I to a well known water park in the area. Besides the blisters we received from walking on the hot pavement, we had fun going to the different slides and pools they had. Around 2 or 3 p.m., my sister and I decided to swim in the wave pool. My sister had to wear a life jacket as she was unsure about swimming too long in the deep end, but I was adventurous. I said that I didn't need anything like a pool noodle or a paddleboard. We got to the deep end and I was treading water pretty well. A few minutes later, they turned on the waves, and that's when the trouble began. Because we were at the deep end, the waves were stronger than I expected. I began to have trouble staying afloat, even when we tried to get to the shallow end. My sister then decided to paddle over to an available floaty that was nearby. However, as the seconds felt like minutes, I struggled to stay afloat. During the hardest moment, I prayed in my heart that my sister would get back soon and that God would help me. Within about 5 seconds, my sister returned out of nowhere, and I was able to rest on the paddleboard and breathe. I thanked God for keeping me safe that day. It was a sunny day when we went to a particular theme park. My dad thought it would be a fun day trip for us all, so we were excited. One of the first rides we decided to go on was the amusement park's most famous ride at the time. This roller coaster went all the way to the top, stopped there for about 10 seconds, then dropped just feet from the ground before gliding the rest of the way. Anyway, after waiting in line for about 15 minutes, it was now our turn. We were to strap ourselves in before the attendant was to check our belts. However, with the closeness of the seats, I could barely reach my arms out to grab the belt to attach it to the buckle. I prayed that God would help me get to it before the attendant got there, so I wouldn't hold up the line or fall out later as well. As I prayed, I was able to reach the belt and buckle it in. The attendant then came by and pulled on the belt. Without hesitation, it came undone. I was shocked. After saying a small joke, he quickly fixed it, and I was good to go. I am just so thankful that God kept me and everyone else safe. This story happened during a trip to a popular water park. We were having a fun day. At one point, my siblings and I decided to go on a particular tubing slide. We had already gone on it several times that day, and now there wasn't a line. It was my second time going down the slide in a row, so I sat on the inner tube and the slide attendant pushed me down. Everything was going well, and I was having fun. That's when I took a sharp turn and fell upside down and off my tube. I began tumbling through the slide, and my tube eventually disappeared from my sight. I started to get really scared because each time I turned or something, I thought I would fall off the slide, which was very high off the ground. I started praying to God that He would keep me safe and help me to get to the pool area soon. I eventually made it out and tumbled into the water. It took me a few seconds to stand up since I was a bit disoriented. Thankfully, I had only a sore arm. The lifeguard came over as soon as I stood up and asked if I was okay. I laughed and nodded as I got out of the water. My brother and sister came over and asked if I was all right. I said I was good, but was done riding that slide. We laughed and went to a different ride. I'm glad that God kept me safe and I was still able to enjoy the rest of my time there.